Hey Chris, should hear what some of these guys are saying on the comments on our Dark Knight Rises review. One of the guys is yeah, Chris is clearly a Tim Burton fanboy. How he holds Batman Returns in such high regard, 9 out of 10. Giving The Dark Knight 7 out of 10.
I gotta talk about let's go.
Whoa, what the? Welcome to another edition of the Laser Dude 99's channel with a special guest. Okay. What are we doing here?
I understand for quite some time people have been, well, would consider me as a Tim Burton fan. And looking back now, I don't know. I might have been a little naive.
What do you mean?
Well, Tim Burton is a great director. I mean, he made Edward Scissorhands for all. I mean, he's great at what he does, and he has such a unique style that just hearing the phrase Tim Burton, you know exactly what you're getting. And do you remember when we did that movie talks, Alice in Wonderland? Yeah, the last one.
You strangled me and took me to the ground.
Anne Hathaway, I don't know, it was almost a cameo, because she was barely in there. I mean, she was barely in there, and I didn't like the scene she was in.
Yeah,
well,
that one.
Might I say I might be just a tad biased. I don't know, just a little biased. And
do you like Alice in Wonderland? Okay, you're really going to take a text message from your fiance.
I have to take this.
Dude, you dragged me here to... Oh, for...
Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so where was I?
Alice in Wonderland. Does it suck?
I would say it's an okay movie, okay? But I made such a big deal about it. Now, people may be saying, oh, you were Two-Face and you shouldn't go back on your review. You shouldn't do a redo. Well, this guy does redo ratings and all that fun stuff. Anyways, I would just like to say that I may have been a little bit, oh, this is a Tim Burton movie, so it's gonna be awesome and it's gonna be amazing. But if you look back, I'm pretty much in the zone. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty much, yeah, Tim Burton, I'm going and I'm gonna love this movie. And no matter what I see in front of me. And sure enough, that's what I see. I also made a big deal about Anne Hathaway. I thought she was a great actor. She was not.
You know this is kind of funny because I thought she was great in The Dark Knight Rises. You didn't, but I did not like her in Alice in Wonderland at all. She was all too flawed.
Yes, we know, and I think she was. Honestly,
and rat tail in here and there. It felt like that stinking Santa Claus thing with Merlin going back and forth.
Let me just say, I don't know why actors sometimes say yes to roles that they don't really are going to be it's not really their thing, and it's not. I actually get respect for actors if they realize that they're not right for a role. I admit, when I was young and when I saw a Tim Burton movie, things were, well, different. I enjoyed watching his movies up until a certain point. Okay, now I'm not going to talk about that movie that just came out in the last year.
Dark Shadows!
Oh! But I went and I saw it, and we're not going to even do a review. It doesn't
I want you to talk about it, Chris.
You know what? It doesn't deserve it. It's
say
like,
why it was bad.
It's like, oh, let's review Captain America, the first Captain America, not the new one. No, it doesn't deserve a review. Giving it a review will only promote the movie more. It doesn't need to be even good or bad. It just doesn't need to be talked about.
Then just give a quick rating of
I'm
it.
just gonna.
If you were to give it a rating out of a 10, what would you... 1. Okay. That's lower than Batman and Robin.
It is awful. There's no ways to describe it. It is awful. There has not ever been a worse movie made by him.
You really...
Even his student film.
Alright, well, let's just talk... well, I was going to say let's talk about your favorite, but we've already talked about that.
Okay, well, let me just say that I know some of you may be thinking, well, that's no reason to be all upset and to basically not put him up there as your favorite director. I gotta say, he's not my favorite director anymore. He was at one point, but now he's not. I just don't understand, like, why he uses movies as a reference and puts cliches in his movie. I didn't see it, but when I saw, like, I didn't see it coming, but I should have known back when I saw Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
And that's really weird.
That was just awful.
Yeah.
And I can understand
the Candyman can.
When you are so focused on something, and this is a good lesson to learn, when you guys are so focused on someone or something that nothing that they do is going to upset you, it'll last for a while, but then someday you'll wake up and you'll realize, did I really make a wise choice here? Now that's not saying that you should be like, oh well, I'm moving on to someone else, and if they screw up, I'm moving on to someone else. No, but for me, I felt that I was very hurt when I went and watched that movie.
It's okay.
I was hurt. I've been waiting for 2 years to see this.
It's okay.
And now I need a whole die.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll just talk about my feelings of Tim Burton. Tim Burton, I think, is a capable director, and he can make good movies. My favorite movies of his would probably be Edward Scissorhands would be one of them, but my favorite
Edward Scissorhands.
My favorite two would probably be, and Chris doesn't even like one of these, would probably be Ed Wood, which I think we both agree was one of his best.
Right.
And Sweeney Todd. I love Sweeney Todd, but it's a too dark a movie for him. But I think the thing with Tim Burton is sometimes he feels he can take certain liberties with certain things that I don't think should really be messed with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, as I said in my review of Alice in Wonderland way back on a Movie Talks on his channel if you want to check it out, it wasn't the story of Alice in Wonderland. It wasn't. It was like Return to Wonderland. And Wonderland was really called Underland, and there was this real evil democracy. Like, the whole thing of Wonderland was supposed to be, it was a land that didn't make any sense. There was no, like, structure to it. You go, you bite this certain bread, you grow miles high. And stuff like that, you know, it was... That was what you know, Alice in Wonderland was supposed to be about. A little girl who is by herself, would love to be in a land that just doesn't make sense. She gets there and then she doesn't. I just didn't like Alice in Wonderland because it wasn't the story of Alice in Wonderland.
Okay, you've made your point. Now let me just get back into what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah, people, you think that Batman is an all bad movie. Well, it's not. Let me just say, Batman is an okay kind of a movie. It may not be the best superhero, but who cares? Batman has always been a classic, and the thing on the back of the DVD says you can't take your eyes off it, and that's true. Now, I'm going to move on and say that I still like Tim Burton. I still enjoy his work, but honestly, I've had to really move myself to wonder, am I going to go see Frankenweenie? Do I even care? Is everything on the line here? Is my life going to, you know, be complete if I go see this? Or is it just going to be another movie? Like, you don't go see a movie thinking this is going to change my whole year. You don't say this is going to be the highlight of my year. But I had so much expectations for Tim Burton that I thought Dark Shadows was going to be great. I thought it was going to be his thing. I thought it was going to be better than Sweeney... did I say Sweeney Todd?
Yes.
I thought it was going to be better than Sleepy Hollow. I was thinking this is going to be the ultimate Tim Burton movie. This is going to be his thing. This should be easy for him. Instead, he did something completely different. He changed everything. And I am thinking, okay, this is a slippery slope. I've learned in the past when a director does something this bad and it's so obviously bad, that are you going to trust that and go see his next movie, or are you going to step back a bit and wait for the reviews and seeing it? This happened with M. Night Shyamalan.
Well, yeah,
everyone didn't see it coming. Everyone was like, oh yeah, he's pretty good. Well, and then it was just like we're not going to get into his movies, but I'm just going to say you lose trust in a director. And you wonder, what happened? And you think that, should I even bother? Should I even bother?
Now, then you're at the happening where you want to barf up your lungs.
So for Tim Burton, I'll just close here. When I saw the trailer for Frankenweenie, I was thinking, oh, is it even worth it? Like, am I going to be so disappointed? And I saw the second trailer, and I was like, okay, well, this is interesting. This is something else. Now, it still could just be a but a is better than a, what the heck did I just watch?
Well, Chris,
can I get a refund?
In my mind, there's been a lot of, well, I'm not sure if you say a lot, but there's been a few movies before the Dark Shadows, not that I saw Dark Shadows, but that have really just been, okay, the Planet of the Apes remake.
That was a while ago.
I know, but that was bad.
Wow.
That was pretty bad.
Of course.
And that's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, not that good. And well,
that's why they're not at my top favorites. If I'm gonna have,
well, who is your favorite director right now then?
Right now, I would say good director. Check him out. The great, the classic, the famous Edward Zwick. You guys are thinking, Edward who?
Yeah,
dude, this guy does not make a bad movie. Check out his movies. You may say, oh, that wasn't for me. You may say, oh, that was interesting. But this guy never makes a bad movie. He made one bad movie.
Well, you just said never, then you said he made one. What has been some of his movies?
Edward Zwick is famous for The Last Samurai, Blood Diamond, Defiance. He's made movies like Glory. He's made... what was it? What was one of his other ones? Okay, the bad movie that he made was Legends of the Fall. Or Falls, I don't know. But anyways this guy is a good director, and I've always liked his work, and that's just that.
Alright.
Regardless. So I just want to say, for those people that think I'm a Tim Burton fan, well, I've changed. People change. This is what happens. Now I know everyone says people don't change. Well, maybe they don't change completely, but maybe they change in their likes and their dislikes. So that's all I wanted to say, and hopefully that helps. See you later.
Be sure to check out more of my other videos on my channel, and wait for more coming soon.
This has been another Chris's Moments.